We're live. We should probably turn on the ring light.
Or the big light.
Well, but the big light is above us. The ring light actually like lights our faces.
Oh.
Like,
Well, light your face.
it's like having light from above and behind us is like worse for video than this.
How dare you?
What, be right?
Yeah.
No,
Also, it's not worse. It is good in conjunction with.
yes.
So there. Yay, see? Our little bickering already got us a like. High five. Our plan has worked. Internet domination.
Yes. We're it's Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Yay!
Yes, this is and Andreas too.
Woo-hoo!
Yay. Oh, Sarah's got news.
Ooh, what is news? Share the news.
What's new, kangaroo? And someone I don't know.
Hi, JV Lurk. If I know you from somewhere, let me know. Yeah, even he is here.
Whoa.
It's a party.
Sarah's getting published.
Nice.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Congratulations.
Gideon. Oh.
That's cool. Nice to see you.
Yes. Yeah, we've been having some trouble with our streaming software that we've been using. So we decided to just hey, you know what? Let's just drop that tonight and just use the webcam.
I think I have downloaded StreamYard.
Okay, we'll have
and then
to
maybe
look into
never
that.
used it or.
Oh, Wes is starting his new job.
Woo! That's my brother.
Cool.
Nice.
Hope they will treat you better than the last place.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard.
I was gonna say would be hard to treat you worse.
So, Sarah said, as long as I raise the money, as in getting paid to be published. Is that what that's about,
or is it crowdfunding? Yeah, because generally, and this is something that we've heard a lot about, because be very careful about getting published. Now, I don't know what your exact situation is, but there is so many predatory publishing companies that it's hybrid publishing. I haven't heard of that.
But yeah, they'll just milk you dry.
Yeah, it's so much of modern publishing is just pyramid schemes. Where they're we'll publish your book, but you'll have to pay all the costs for it, and and buy all of the books from us and then sell them yourselves.
But Sarah's confident that it's not like that.
Good.
That
yes.
is good. This company, Sarah's bestie's husband published with 100% of the royalty. Nice.
Good stuff.
I would love to have books published one day, especially to get my junk journals to be able to have all those beautiful, colorful pages.
Yeah.
Photocopied and poetry and stuff. That would be so cool to.
Cool.
Oh man.
Okay, so you have to put in an investment to start, but then they will actually do the publishing and distribution, and then you get to keep everything until you've made your money back and they split 50. That seems fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everything works the way it seems, then yeah, that seems like a decent deal.
And Morton's got all these ideas for books, but with your brain, once you have the idea fleshed out, you don't want to actually write it because you're bored of it by that point.
Yeah.
The story already exists, and you just hog it to yourself.
I should.
Tim Fry is here. Hello. I don't recognize your name. I'm so sorry. If we know each other, let me know. Are you a Tim from Mel's, perhaps? Let me know. Because I do remember there was a really great, cool person named Tim from Mel's.
Huh. Yeah.
The Conrad Press is the publishing company that Sarah is working for. What are you publishing? Tell us the deets, the tales, the information. Oh, man. Yeah, I think he was defending her, Sarah. I'm sure Sarah's done her research.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Andrea said, and we got a lot better offer than a friend got with the Swedish publisher a week back, about 75% less. A poetry collection called God in All I See. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That must feel so good to think about holding something that is yours.
Yeah.
I was published in a school book the first year that it was hardback. That was really exciting. I've got a poem in a hardback book.
Yes.
Andrea said, if we put it this way, 20,000 crowns less. Wow, that sounds like so much money.
Okay, Tim is not someone we know. We've never met. Live in the Mid-Atlantic region of the States.
Nice to see ya. So glad you're here, Tim. I've picked up random subscribers from so many different places.
Yeah.
From David Hoffman, from Nanny, from The Odd Video.
Yes.
But it's always great to get to connect with people. And Andreas proofread and fact-checked books. Very important thing to have done.
Yes.
David Hoffman, probably. Cool. Yeah. So, Tim, are you a member of the David Hoffman community? Do you attend the monthly live stream? Because if you're not, you should. It's so cool. It's such a lovely group of people. Yakbenhia says, Sarah's book is divided into summer and winter editions called God and All I See and God and All I See, respectively. I see what you did there. Those dad jokes, man.
Sarah does not agree. And Sarah and Andreas are coming to Gotland next week. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Stuff.
That's what I thought the news was going to be. Something about coming and visiting.
Cool.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get together and play some games. Tim says, I should. I have not done too many live streams. Yeah. I did. Thank you for noticing,
the other
Sarah.
Sarah showed up.
Sarah Veazey noticed that I cut my hairs.
Yes.
Yes.
The yearly haircut.
The yearly haircut. And I finally recorded some more footage today. It's a bit of a vlog. If you don't know what that means, that's instead of a vlun is when you vlog and run, and a vlog is when you vlog and walk. And I finally did some of walking and vlogging footage that I feel finally ties together the footage I got of my before and after haircut. Because otherwise, it was just going to be like a 30-second video. Because okay,
I'm going in to get my haircut.
Here it is.
I got my haircut.
Whoa.
I mean, that could be a short.
I know, but I get a lot of views on haircut videos.
Yep.
People want to see the transformation. So I wanted to actually talk about something that meant something to me, that resonated with me, so that I'm putting something out there that means something. And it doesn't all have to mean something. Something can just be entertaining because it's good to laugh and connect and have fun. But I couldn't find a way to make it entertaining either before today. And it's going to be easy to edit too, so that's cool.
Sarah also cut her hair short.
Nice. Short hair is freedom.
I should probably cut mine.
Yeah, Merton's hair is longer than mine now, especially in the back.
Yeah.
She actually did some buzzing in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be next week's live stream.
Oh yeah, we did. It's been a while since we did that.
Yeah.
That was fun. Getting all those different angles.
Hmm.
Well, 2 angles, but anyway.
Yes.
How is the baby? Well, I can show you. Baby seems to be doing okay. Wow, I look enormous.
Yeah, with that angle on it, yeah.
Yes. Not that being enormous is a bad thing or anything.
It is here too.
I'm just not used to like actually looking so round. Gaia says, "Hey, fancies and non-fancies." I don't get it.
We said nothing fancy.
Oh, nothing fancy. Yeah. Yeah, Gaia's here. Time to get the party started. Sarah says, "That belly looks super round and firm today. So cute." Yeah.
A week from now, we'll have our next appointment.
Next ultrasound. Ultrasound. Doesn't it sound so heroic?
Ultra Lord.
Ultra Lord.
But also it also made me think of like, I have supervision. It's not as cool as it sounds.
Also, that's the Swedish S and Z sound. It'd be more supervision.
Vision. Huh.
Swedes have a hard time sometimes with when to do a S and when to do a Z sound.
Well, but also because it's the SI, it's so weird.
Yeah. What was it? Sarah Lindholm says, "Which am I, fancy or non-fancy?" Well, our thought was that we are not fancy and the stream is nothing fancy. Like,
yeah, the viewers are allowed to be fancy.
Of course. I mean, get out the long gloves.
I mean, she's publishing a book of poetry.
Yeah, she's obviously the fancy one here. Yeah. You said nothing fancy, but you and all those affiliated are still always epic and fancy. So it can only be fantastic and fancy.
Right, fancy as the in the meaning of like imaginative, but yes.
I never thought of the word in that sense before.
Like fanciful?
Oh, fanciful. Okay. Sarah loves the logic. Andrea says, "Been watching Moon
Shiners, I think.
But what's the point of the stars?"
I don't know why it's censored. Why it was censored. They try to age alcohol using ultrasound.
Let's say it didn't work. Spoilers. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just been feeling like uncomfortable lately in my belly and just blah. And also my chesticles have been hurting. We went swimming yesterday and they were hurting for a while after. Like at one point during the swimming, I was just like, nope. I need to get warm. I need to get away from this, because it literally felt like I was just being punched over and over and over and over and over again, like by a heavyweight boxer going for the championship title, just right there over and over again. And it was starting to feel like that again today.
Well, Sarah said maybe you can't type moonshiners.
But you just did.
So that wasn't. I wonder if Andreas. No, but I don't know why that happened. Yeah, who knows?
Ooh, Sarah remembers the pain of shower water hitting them, and it hurt so bad.
Yes.
Oh man. I'm just wondering how it's going to be this time. I'm 19 weeks tomorrow, so I could very well already be halfway there. We're halfway there. Living on a prayer.
Take my hand.
Oh, sorry. I was starting to read a comment and I lost it. I lost the flow.
Oh, Andreas censored himself. I don't think we don't need to be that family friendly. Like moonshiners is moon. Yeah. I think most like anyone who actually knows what that means probably is old enough to handle it.
Jay Lynn's here saying, "You cut your hair?" No.
Should let a professional do it.
No, I'm wearing a wig with a bald cap underneath, hiding all of my hair. No, I cut my hair. It was like Tahirish, would you say?
Yeah, maybe around there.
Because when I got it cut a year ago, it was shorter on this side and a little bit longer on this side.
Yeah.
And it was easier to kind of, while it was super short, because it was even cut like around the ear short.
Yeah, that's how you got it last time.
And once my natural middle part took over, it was annoying that it was like always uneven. So I'm really glad to have it even now. I think I did rock the uneven look.
Yeah.
Yes. And Jalen says, oh, of course, that makes more sense. Wearing a wig in the middle of summer. Well, obviously. Oh, I just... Oh, Jalen missed it. You want to see my moon? That's not a moon.
That's a space.
No, that's not a space station. That's a moon.
That's what?
Whoa, we're halfway there.
Whoa.
Well, duh. So, Morton hasn't seen Stranger Things, and I want him to, so I'm not going to talk spoilers. But I just want to say, and no spoilers in the comments. I will block you. But I watched Stranger Things, and it's very good, and I have a lot of feelings. And I've just been watching a lot of YouTube videos like making Vecna's makeup, and the cast takes interviews and looks at 80s, talks about 80s objects. Sarah says, Katie, we need to talk. That's talk, but not now. Because Morton was like, we don't have a lot of energy to watch serious, scary stuff because we need to watch something funny and light to calm down afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, sometimes it's so late by the time we actually are able to spend time together that there wouldn't be time to do both.
Yeah.
And so it's just what's the equivalent of 9 movies.
Yeah.
It could take a really long time for the two of us to watch together.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he was willing to let me just watch it by myself and kind of just acknowledge that he wasn't in the mind space.
Yes. Instead, we've recently been watching Dead End, Paranormal Park. Yeah, that's the full title.
Yeah, it's such a cool show.
It's a new animated show on Netflix.
Really good representation.
Yeah.
Of mental. What's the
both like
use?
like neurodivergence, and trans.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, ich bin here has a question. Did you ever play a pregnant person in a play? And if so, how did that compare to your actual experience? I did play a pregnant person, but it was so long ago, I don't even remember. And it was a very short role. Or, no, I didn't. I was in a play where 2 people played a pregnant person, but I never actually played a pregnant person.
Did you ever play Mary?
I did play Mary.
While she was pregnant? Because I know you played like Mary. I know you did like
when Jesus was first born.
Yeah, like a Christmas play where you were Mary right after.
Yeah.
But
did I ever play Pregnant Mary? I mean, obviously it would have been different because I didn't have the experience of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like in a few more months when I am like literally having to like wave my arm in front of me to have momentum to move. Do you remember that? Or no, you weren't actually with me the last month of the pregnancy.
Yeah. And also, personally, it might not be quite like that this time.
No, but like we have thought that it's possible that this one kid could be bigger than both girls put together.
That's true.
If everything goes normally, and I don't have them premature.
Yeah.
Jay says, I really liked season 4. I cried a lot. Same. Big same. Hard same. Kate Bush is awesome. I need to learn more of the lyrics to that song because I just keep singing the same like bits over and over again. I'm running out of hope. I'm running out of time. See, I don't even know the words. It's so frustrating. I just have this da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. But I can't remember how far. I think we've watched 4 or 5 episodes of Dead End so far.
Yeah.
And but it's it's like it's both that both Barney's like trans like struggles of that and Norma like, and I like the like as far as like from what we've seen the beach episode with the fears like centered on Norma.
That was a powerful episode.
Yes.
So well done.
But I love that like they never directly state that she's neurodivergent, but it's like especially like when you like have like I'm nowhere near like my experience is nowhere near hers, but there are still like aspects of her that I can really relate to that I'm just like, oh yep, I know what that is.
I don't think I've actually told you this, but in my head I referred to you as ADHD adjacent.
Something like that, yeah. Which is
like you're not completely.
Yeah, it's sort of like, and that was the thing when I did have, I didn't get a full investigation because I function well enough in society that I am not a priority. But they were basically like, you have some ADHD symptoms, you have some autism symptoms, you don't have enough of either of them to give a clear diagnosis, and that was it.
We're gonna give you some tools to adjust to life.
Yeah.
So you're with your therapy.
Yes.
And in your therapy, they're often giving you the same kind of advice that I've given you, but you can hear it from them.
Yeah. But it is still. I mean, I'm still struggling, but it has helped somewhat.
I just wish that I had been more aware of the ways that you struggled and didn't count it as a personality like a personality flaw, and been mad at you about things that were just things that you didn't have control over.
Yeah.
We all need to be educated on different ways that brains can work.
Yeah.
Every single person, we need it. And Andreas owns the original UK single of Running Up That Hill. Nice. So he must have got really excited when that song became so big.
Yeah, Elias, my brother. Yes. Yes. He's been struggling for a while and has been like going from with it's ME is the term they use now, the one thing that used to be called chronic fatigue, but then that was sort of like that does not encompass like chronic fatigue, sort of that is a symptom of the issue, not the issue itself. So
but he did this holistic.
Yeah, it's basically the way I sort of understand it, or it's basically the idea of like, okay, there, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is like when you change your behavior by changing the way you think about things. Someone was basically like, hey, our minds can influence our bodies too. So could we, when we have an issue that is like neurological, could we try to think our way around it? And so far, for at least for Elias, it's been working.
Amazingly, he really committed to it, and he followed these exercises of like visualizing yourself where you're going to be a week from then, 6 months from then, really just feeding his brain with the positive thoughts. And he went from being a guy who had to like lay down all the time to being a guy that just had like a normal amount of energy. He was able to get back to work and get back to life.
Yeah, it's like
wow.
Him and his girlfriend are planning to bike around Gotland later this summer, which is just amazing.
Our brains are freaking amazing.
I just realized now I'm talking about him without.
He's open about it on his Instagram.
Yeah. Like, he shares his progress publicly on Instagram. So it's, I mean, he is in some ways a public like person. Like he has talked a lot about these things. Like they did a little fundraiser thing for him with the improv group that he's a part of, that he is now performing with again and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, just after seeing how low energy and in pain he was, to see him now, it's just like, it's a miracle. I want to read this. Tim says, tools for life. Sadly, I fooled my therapist as a teenager and passed as a well-adjusted person who didn't need any tools. Messed that one up. It's like cheating on the eye test and memorizing the letters. Like, what good does it do you? If you need something, you need something. So she's not watching Stranger Things because it's horror. I avoid most horror, but like, since this is, science fiction monsters, it's not like demons and, it's not like real. I don't know.
Andreas says that his autism is sort of makes him resistant to cognitive behavioral therapy. That's interesting. Yeah,
because you were a bit like, I don't know, when Elias was first describing this, you were skeptical.
I mean, yeah, and part of me still is, but I'm like,
it works for him. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I know enough about placebo effect that I'm like, yeah.
It makes me think of this thing that I've been really learning about lately, that, how do I phrase it? Like, so much of our suffering, what we call suffering, is our choice of how we label it in our minds and how we think about it.
Then we get there was a slight discussion in the comments about psychoanalysis and things like that.
I love it.
Freud was correct about diagnosis, but Jung and Albert Ellis perfected the way to treatment through CBT, and then they also point out that Jung was not CBT because he was just a classical psychoanalysis. I guess what Tim might have meant was just that sort of the people who then developed cognitive behavioral therapy sort of based some of that on some of Jung's work. Which is, I don't know enough about either of those things.
I'm just glad to surround myself with people smarter than me. Like, it's great.
But yeah. But then there also says it's quite common to be resistant to CBT therapy when on the spectrum, and Tim says that sucks. Yeah, but hopefully there are other effective treatments. Yeah.
But CBT is really useful for stuff like phobias.
Yeah, I mean that's the like a core.
I would love to hear from a scientific perspective, like about the effectiveness of like hypnotherapy, since growing up I always like, that's evil stuff, you're letting demons into your brain, and now I'm not really quite exactly sure where I stand on that kind of thing now. So now I'm like, I wonder what the truth is about this.
I think like hypnotherapy is one of those things that is like, I think it's very much like, another thing is very much your mileage may vary, and it's like hard to say how like in the cases where it's effective, is it the actual therapy or is it placebo effect sort of things.
Like I saw this video of Colleen Ballinger, aka the Queen Miranda Sings, being hypnotized. and like she was eating an onion and like, oh, that's a really good apple. Oh, like full bites out of it. And then when she was saying afterwards, like in her mind, like further back in her mind, she knew it was an onion, but it tasted good in that moment. It tasted sweet. But she knew it was an onion, and she knew that it was funny.
Yeah. And that is like show hypnosis is a completely different thing from hypnotherapy. Because show hypnosis is all that is just giving you permission to do things. Like, because basically by telling the audience that you are not in control, you can feel free to just do things that you actually know are stupid and silly because you have been given permission.
But there is something about the fact that it did taste good. Like there is some manipulation happening. It's not like,
I mean, yes, it is like.
Or what about the people that can sing all the words to a song? They don't know all the words to that song.
That's I don't
weird.
know. Yes.
Freud used hypnosis. Freud was a weirdo though. Like he just thought that literally everyone just wanted to do gross stuff with their parents. Like, ugh. Take everything he says with a pillar of Lot's wife.
It's like Freud did a bunch of Freud laid a lot of important groundwork for I think that's through both Freud and Jung, is we wouldn't understand the mind the way we do today if it wasn't for the work that they did. But most of the work that they did is now seen as horribly outdated. And
didn't you think that women's big problem was that they were just jealous they didn't have male anatomy?
That was that was a part of it. Yeah, he was very fixated on certain things, and so he was convinced that everyone else must be as well.
Projecting.
Yes.
So Tim says, I think Albert Ellis credited Jung a lot, but I guess Jung was more of a bridge and not a creator, which I should have noted. Hypnotherapy is not accepted for clinical use, Andreas says.
Indeed.
Oh, CBT came out of Pavlov and the behaviorism, Pavlov's bell.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes me think of this thing I heard of a person that was like, every time that they had this clicker, like for dogs, this person and every time something made them happy, they would click it. And it's like they were training themselves to not assimilate, that's not the right word. To remember those happy feelings, so that if they didn't have something to make them happy, they could hear the sound.
All right. Okay. Sarah Easy points out that Jung still does have relevance. Like his archetype theory is still.
What's the archetype theory?
It's the idea that we tend to sort. I don't know exactly.
Is it like MBT?
No, but yeah, sort of thing that we're we sort both other people and ourselves into sort of simplified models of people, like the archetypes, so you have the mother and you have a certain idea of what mothers are like. That's the archetype of the mother and things like that.
And the adventurer and the protector and things like that.
Okay. So it's using psychodynamic therapy, which is something that Andreas has used, and that's helped him. Okay, yes. So archetypes are things like mother, maiden, crone. Yeah, yes. Those are. Yeah, it's basically character tropes.
Yeah. I'm working my way towards being a crone. It's a work in progress.
I mean, you're doing quite well with the mother archetype now.
I mean, on paper, I've physically grown a few people, and I'm currently growing one. But
Well, but I mean, you're also like you are a good mom.
You're a good dad. Yeah. Andrea says Jung's character tropes are also used in literature analysis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they are. Yeah. They are literally.
They are tropes.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, because of course, like, because if you want to create a resonant character, basing it on a psychological archetype is.
Sarah says the hero's journey that so many stories follow. That goes more towards mythology, though.
Yes.
There's like, what is it? There's only like 5 different kinds of stories.
Different scholars have like done it like
fish out of water.
The hero's journey.
Yeah.
Is,
a special person goes to an unspecial place. An unspecial person goes to a special place.
Yes. But yes, but either of those is fish out of the water. Someone said basically like we have fish out of the water, boy meets girl, hero's journey. It's like they're like pretty much everything is one of those. Although most hero's journeys are also fish out of water, with the touch of boy meets girl in there as well. So it's
okay, I've heard this word before, but Andre says yes, as well is the Oedipus complex. It is a common theme. What's the Oedipus complex?
That's the whole. That's the all boys want
to find a woman that is exactly like their mother.
Yes, because it's based on the myth of Oedipus, who unknowingly married his own mother.
Yeah. I'm so far from your mom, though, so sorry about that.
I mean,
your mom is so much cooler than me.
Yeah, but you're both like passionate and caring people. Yeah. Like the important things are.
Yeah. Forgot I was gonna say.
I'm like.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, it's like, I think, that Oedipus complex thing is, how bad that is, I think depends on what kind of mom you have.
There's a Facebook group that's like, he's your son, not your boyfriend. Like, this whole hashtag boy mom thing, they get really weird. They really do.
So I said it's 7. Yeah. Like I've heard, like, again, it depends like on which scholar, different scholars have, like, there's someone I think has claimed 13. Shakespeare seems to love it. Yeah, it was.
He was probably a pretty gross guy too.
Candide. But Candide is Voltaire, isn't it?
Yes.
Although we only watched the musical.
Yeah, I would not have known about Candide if it wasn't for the musical with Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah, they did. That was just a concert as they did, but it was really good.
I don't remember anything other than like few little flashes because that's how my memory.
The main thing I remember of the concert was that they had Patti LuPone,
and they really played that
was in it as the old lady, and no, she's not a witch, but she's like a servant type woman who shows up, but instead of like introducing her as the character, they introduced her as Patti LuPone.
Wow, we really hit the nail on the head with our friend Tim today. Candide, the best of all possible musicals. He's into psychology. He's into Candide. Yeah. You're glad you came, aren't you?
But see, he might not think it is the best of all possible musicals. That's actually a joke on the themes of the play.
Oh,
because Candide was written as a response to a prevailing philosophy of the time that Voltaire was opposed to, which was the idea that because this is the world in which God placed us, this must be the best of all possible worlds.
Okay.
which Voltaire was like,
"Excuse me?
You think so? You think this is the best of all possible worlds?" And then he just wrote an entire play where people kept saying, "This is the best of all possible worlds," right before something terrible happens. Like, and that's the entire play, and it is a sort of a comedy, but it is, like,
isn't the point kind of more in a Zen direction of the best you can hope for is to just grow your food and live your life?
That's the point that
tranquility.
that Candide arrives at the end. So spoilers. Spoilers for a
9,000-year-old thing.
It's not 9,000 years, but wait,
Might as well be.
I think it was written 18th century, so into the woods.
But Sarah Lindholm, do you want to watch just the first act, or do you want to see both acts? The first act is Disney. The second act is
Sondheim.
Sondheim. Yeah, it is a Sondheim play.
Yeah.
Andreas says one of the most interesting plays I've seen is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I'm not familiar with that one.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I do
know the song "Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf."
That's yes.
Is there a relation there?
Well, I mean that's what they are referencing with the title of the play. Yes.
There's so many things I'd love to learn about, like so many experiences of stories.
Like as I have said so many times, if I had a time machine, all I would do is just go see plays and concerts and things like that.
Go see Freddie Mercury live.
Yes.
Oh man, go to see an actual Shakespeare play. Everyone played by a dude.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, but can you imagine just seeing like original performance or Midsummer Night's Dream?
Oh. So Sarah acted a scene from the play. She had to act drunk, having never been drunk.
I had to do that. It was one of the weirdest like compliments or like that I ever got was when we actually did a performance, like we did some plays and stuff at a prison where I, who have been a teetotaler my whole life, did a play where I play a drunk and verbally abusive father, and then afterwards one of the inmates was like, I really believed you were drunk. Like I was like, yeah, that guy probably knows a lot better than I do what people look like when they're drunk. So that's I suppose a good compliment, but it still feels weird.
And Sarah said she did not do a good job. That was I chuckle every time this comes up because that's how you would confess your feelings to me, pretending to be drunk when we were just. There we go.
I've always liked you. You're a good egg.
Wouldn't you call me beautiful and pretty and stuff with your glasses of skin?
I don't think I would. I don't think I dared go. I think I've always liked you was like that was always my go-to line. I don't think I would dare go any further than that.
Yeah. You didn't want to make things weird when I had a cheating boyfriend on the other end of the beach.
And like and that's also like I did that to a lot of people. I mean, people that I did genuinely like, but it was not necessarily a romantic thing.
No, but it felt a little bit like you were taking the opportunity to tell me something. Yeah, like you said, if you had a time machine and went to see a play, would you also have to go back in time far enough to work to earn money of the time period in order to afford the admission? Come on, why all these logistics?
Well, otherwise, what I would probably do would just be like
literally just
bring some bags of spices with me in the time machine, like because Shakespeare's time, like a shaker's worth of black pepper would be, which we can get for $1 or whatever it costs, a couple dollars. That would be worth a lot more in Shakespeare era England.
Okay, I'm going deep science fiction now. Black Mirror. Remember how a person could insert someone else's consciousness to live inside of their head?
Yes.
To be able to just hop into someone else's head and like just be quiet so they don't aren't aware that you're there.
But that's
and just share their consciousness to like just see it through their eyes and then just pop out again and go to the next place.
And that's also been like, there's sci-fi that is based entirely around the idea of jumping into somebody else's mind.
Yeah.
The quantum leap, stuff like that.
I need to watch that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and of course, and then there was the that X-Men movie where Wolverine jumps back into his younger self.
I did not see that one.
Yes, you did. We watched it together in theater.
I don't remember. Wait, did that one have Elliot Page in it?
Yes.
Okay, I did see that. I don't remember a darn thing other than Elliot Page being in it.
Yes.
Andres says to play.
That would be really weird to watch that now.
It would be, yeah.
I wonder if Quantum Leap's streaming anywhere. Yeah, that's a good question.
Andres says, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is a play about the hidden secrets in relationships. And he also says, the interesting thing about opera is that there are premiere recordings available of 20th century ones.
Right. Those were like some of the first things that they did recordings of.
Wow.
Because often, because it was like an easy thing to get a clean recording of. Yeah.
Huh. Sarah, Mrs. Quantum Leap.
And the other Sarah has seen 1 or 2 episodes.
I love all that stuff. There's another show that is really interesting that have you heard of it? That's like a dollhouse.
Oh yes.
And that's like it's the same cast, but they're all playing completely different people each time.
Because they are basically made to they are like completely blank slates that you can sort of download a personality into them.
Matrix style.
Yes.
Andres liked the C.S. Lewis sci-fi book. Okay, knuckles cracking. Here we go. I loved the first 2 books. I hated the 3rd one. I'm still angry at C.S. Lewis. I'm going to meet him in heaven. I'm going to say, I love the Chronicles of Narnia. The 3rd book in the space trilogy, poof, in the face.
Katie?
What?
This is not... Katie, you remember, what people of our generation do when they don't like how a story ended?
Write their own.
Write fan fiction.
I don't have time to do that anymore. When I had time to do that, I was in middle school and high school. The first one was great. The second one was great. Third one, why? What? Because the first 2 have this the mystery, the magic, the fantasy, the science fiction, the wonder, and the third one is just completely different, just completely boring. There's nothing magic or fantasy or cool about it at all. It was a book I couldn't even finish. I couldn't.
I wonder what happened in his life at that time.
I'm also mad at the guy who wrote Wicked for this Gregory McGeeg. That I
Mr. Magoo.
I wasted a whole day reading his book about the evil stepsister. I was like, maybe it'll get better. It didn't get better. The book's done. Dang
it. I think it's a good idea to just forgive Mr. Lewis now, so there isn't a boxing match when you get to heaven.
I've been sharpening these knuckles for about 20 years now.
I just realized maybe you should try rereading the books. Like maybe it would hit you differently now that you're a different person.
No, I'm the same exact person. No changes have been made.
Press X to doubt.
Andrea says yes. Maybe in response to I've been here saying that I should forgive C.S. Lewis.
Oh no, to reread it.
Oh, I've been meaning to reread The Lord of the Rings. What's his face? Larry Hauser gave us a beautiful
box set
yes. that was sitting in storage for 100 years because it was so big that he didn't want to deal with it, and then he gave it to us.
Have you heard of the City of Ember?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, thanks for being here. Yeah, I've been here. Says thanks for the nice stream tonight. It's starting to get late.
Yes, for me as well.
Yes, I know the truth about I've been here. I've been keeping the secret all this time. He's actually Cockney.
Yes. Yeah.
Really good series of books is The Wizards. The Wizards. The Magicians, I mean. The Magicians.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. No, wait.
City of Ember.
Sci-fi adjacent. I think I might have heard of it. So many books. So many good books.
I'm just going to look up the name of them. Look up The Magicians. Oh, there's actually a TV series.
Yes.
Magicians series books. Lev Grossman.
That was his name.
Yes.
Did you just?
Where did it go? There it is.
Yes, there it is.
I lost the tab. The Wizards, the Magician series by Lev Grossman was so stinking cool.
What was that series of sci-fi like sci-fi books that were like inspired by fairy tales? There was like so Rapunzel was a tech genius trapped in a satellite. Cinder
series. Oh, yes. That was so cool. Cinderella was a cyborg.
Yeah. Right. So she didn't lose her shoe. She lost her entire foot.
So cool. I would reread those. That's been so long. We were living in India when I read those. That was thousands of years ago.
So many books. Like something I would like to reread because I read halfway through the series, and then there was one of the books that I couldn't get a hold of. Was Otherland by Tad Williams. I think I mentioned it before, which is it's a really interesting cyberpunk story, doorstopper series. That's really really cool. I still remember just bits and pieces, scenes from the book that stuck with me when I read it in junior high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sarah says there's a film coming to Netflix called The School of Good and Evil. That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this book I just got. Pagan Christianity. Sorry, For Good and Evil. And this is a history, going into the history of the early church, of why do we do the things that we do at church, and is it actually what was intended? This book makes an unsettling proposal. Most of what present-day Christians do in church each Sunday is rooted not in the New Testament, but in pagan culture and rituals developed long after the death of the apostles. But this really resonated with me. In the process, the authors uncover the problems that emerge when the church functions more like a business organization than the living organism it was created to be.
Yeah.
No, it's not that kind of Christian pagan. It's not Christian Wiccans. This is going into what are the roots of the practices.
Yeah.
And the old-timey stuff.
Like it's the idea of like is current Christian liturgy actually Christian in its origins?
And like, even if it is, if it still is resonant, some aspects of things still are resonating with people and helping them. I wouldn't go so fast to just label it as no, it's all evil, throw it all out.
Yeah.
Because some would just have a bad rap.
Yes.
Yeah. But I just need to actually set myself time to read it.
Yeah.
I just felt super unmotivated to do a whole lot lately.
Yeah. Man, reading. I also would love to read again, and reread and then read the rest of the books of what was that? Skullduggery Pleasant.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun.
That book, I remember reading the first book in that series in high school. Like I picked it up just. People say don't judge a book by its cover, but all through high school, I kept grabbing books that had interesting covers, and they were all good.
Right, like of course we do.
I was like, oh, this book has the cover of this book is a skeleton with holding a flame in his hand, wearing a cool hat and a trench coat. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was because I remember getting that book from the school library, picking it up, I had some errand to do in the afternoon, but I started reading it a bit before, did my errand, went home, read, realized that it was after 7 or probably 8. I was like, I should probably eat something. Made myself some food, kept reading while I ate, and then suddenly I was like, oh, that's the end of the book. And then I realized it was 11 at night. It's like I had just been reading the entire afternoon and evening without realizing, because the book just moved at such a pace. And I missed that feeling.
Yeah, it's fun to get lost in a book, just to be in that flow of being connected. Yeah. I want to read more Douglas Adams. I want to reread Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I just remember it being so fun. All his little notes and asides and things in the margins and.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, shall we?
But yes, I definitely need
adjourn?
to. Yes, I need to move toward bed.
Yes.
I am working in the morning. And so I need to get the girls to preschool and such.
If I don't have a work editing project, I will be working on editing more of my new series. I hope you'll give it a listen. My first episode of the series, Reclaiming Trauma, is up now, and it's really exciting. It's so cool that some people are telling their stories for their very first time, and I get the honor of being the one to hear it and help them share it. And Chris helped me with the title of this one, Betrayed by a Pastor, learned to stay quiet, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that sound like an interesting clickable title?
Yeah.
Talking about don't judge books by their cover, it's not even a thing, because you have to work on a thumbnail to make it engaging that people would want to click on it.
Yes.
Anyway. Yay!
Yay.
Kay is going to listen to it. Woohoo!
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Now.
Ooh, yeah. And today is looking forward to his vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
we're taking a mini summer.
I haven't really announced.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying we are going to take mini we've set aside 2 weeks of the summer that we're not doing any work, getting all the kids will not be going to preschool, just so that we have some sort of summer break.
I've just been having a hard time because we just had we have first chunk of vacation.
Yeah,
and
the
it's
girls
hard to
were
get
home
back
last
into.
week. Yeah.
It was 12 to 11 days.
Oh yeah, because it was like a long weekend before, and then
Yeah. So I'm having a hard time of just getting my brain back into like focusing mode
yeah,
after having them home for so long.
yeah, and now we have like 2 weeks of activity before we're getting back in, before we're taking some time off again.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. It's so fun. I appreciate you.
Huzzah. Good night.
Masters of Death. Nice nostrils.